Well, welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really having fun. And this is Rock and David. Portman Road Stadium. That's where we're going to be playing tomorrow as Ruben Amorim plays his first game against Ipswich Town. And this is his first game as a manager of Manchester United, and we are all eager to see how things are really going to be panning out into the mix. Much like button, comment, and share. If at all you're watching us for the very important, if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Remember, Rock and David is always here to bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. Now, Manchester United, last played away from home when you're playing against West Ham, and we lost to West Ham. And we lost to West Ham by 2-1. A game that saw Eric Ten Hag got sacked. Ruud van Nistelrooy came in through. We drew with Chelsea 1-1, and we went ahead, obviously, went ahead with Leicester City by 3-0. A win that lifted United so high to be 3 points off the top 4, meaning that when you look at the teams that we're really going to be facing, when you look at the teams that are really in the top 4 that are really going to be playing today, we'll be waiting to see who drops points and who is really going to be beaten. And this is the most important bit of it to really put in mind. Nottingham Forest is having 19 points, right? Nottingham Forest is having 19 points, and they are playing Arsenal, right? Chelsea is having 19 points, and they are playing Leicester City. It's the early opener away at the... What's the stadium Leicester City called? So they are playing in the Midlands. Then, the other team that is there, that is really having 19 points, let me check here very well, is Arsenal. Arsenal is playing Nottingham Forest, meaning that one of those is really going to cancel themselves out. Then, Brighton. Who is Brighton playing? Brighton is playing Bournemouth away today. So, when you look at even Aston Villa is playing Crystal Palace, Villa is also... Where is Villa? Villa is having 18 points. And Manchester United is having 15 points. And we are 4 points off the top 4. And when you look at these permutations, if we win on Sunday, we'll find ourselves in the proposition of obviously getting into the top 10 of the league table. You understand? And that will put us into the best way possible of the kickstart of the season. Because I believe with 8 games left to end the first half of the season, if we really perform very well, we might find ourselves like 2 or 3 points up the top 4. And I think if you enter January, when you are really that close to the team in the 4th, all you need is what we call consistency, that run. And if you get that run right, all will be well. So that is what I think about Manchester United, and that's what makes this game of football important. And for Ruben Amorim to silence his haters, to silence the haters that haven't gone ahead, obviously give him a chance. Because for me, I believe he's the manager. We should back him. He's good. He has promised us that instantly tomorrow we are going to see the identity that he wants his team to be playing like. You get? He has hinted on us losing the ball most of the times, and is like, we should obviously track back and really press. That is it. So, let's wait and see how that pans out. But Ipswich is one of those teams that went ahead to shock Tottenham Hotspur in the last game that was played before we went to the international break. They beat them by 2-1. You understand? Now, they're really having that momentum, and they are returning to their stadium, Portman Road Stadium, with a very huge vibe that United needs obviously go there knowing that they are really gonna have a hard time there. And for everyone who thinks that this game is really gonna be easy, I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you because this is a side that went at Man City and broke the dreadlock in, I think, was it 10-15 minutes? Though City came back and obviously went ahead to win that game of football, but they can score goals, and they have a style of play that Kylian McKenna, former at Manchester United, really knows. And I think Kylian McKenna worked at Manchester United under Jose Mourinho, and when Ruben Amorim came in to obviously do his internship at Manchester United, he saw him there, and he really saw what exactly the guy was all about. But the big deal for this game is the players that are really back. I think the only player that is not available is Harry Maguire. For Lisandro Martinez, Lindelof will need what we call a communication from the side of Manchester United today, and we'll be getting to know whether they've gone ahead to travel with the team. But the rest of the players are variable. Lenny Yoro is back, Luke Shaw is back, Tyrell Malacia is back, Kobe Mainoo is back, Mason Mount is back. So all those players are readily available, and the manager is really having a very huge squad at his disposal. And now we are waiting to see what is really going to be happening at that side. But I'm really impressed with that, and that keeps us in a very better position to obviously take on Ipswich Town. That is on Sunday. Now, when you look at Ipswich, they are telling us that as of Sunday, on loan Man City midfielder Calvin Phillips is eligible to play again after a ban, but McKenna has revealed that he's also struggling with the knock and is not a guarantee for the weekend. So Calvin Phillips is struggling with the knock. Then Nathan Broadhead is having a groin injury. West Burns is having a knock injury. Jacob Graves is having a thigh injury. Jack Taylor is having an injury that is really unspecified. Omari Hutchinson is having a foot injury, and we are waiting to see how things really happen. So Chidioze and George Hurst suffered any problem are definitely out. So they are telling us that with Hurst missing and Hutchinson doubtful, Connor Kaplan should be on standby to operate just off Delap, while ex-United defender Axel Twanzebe is set to start at right back against his former employers. So that's how we really anticipate everything is really going to be coming to pass into that beautiful game of football that United is expected to play at that stadium. So they're really having huge injuries, and for us, we're not having many. So let's see how United is really going to stand. The system that this manager plays is a 3-4-2-1, or you can say a 3-4-3, but it's always a 3-4-2-1 or a 4-3-3, but that doesn't matter because it's almost the same. Now, that is the system, and people are really having their reservation about this system, but I've gone ahead to see Pep Guardiola do this system for the previous 2 seasons. In most of the games that's going ahead to play, he has used this system very many times, meaning that it's tested in the Premier League and it can really consistently win very many games. Pep Guardiola is really a man that has gone ahead obviously deploy 3 defenders in very many games, and we've gone ahead to understand that we've gone ahead to notice that each and every time he's playing big teams, this is the system he obviously brings most of the times. Now, in goal, obviously Andre Onana is really going to be playing into the goal area for the club of Manchester United, and no doubt about that, he's the first choice. Now, the back 3, I see Lenny Yoro making his debut for Manchester United in a competitive game of football. That is Lenny Yoro for you. On the right side of the 3-man central defense. Then on the left side of the 3-man central defense, if Lisandro Martinez isn't past fit, I see John Evans coming in through. But if at all Lisandro Martinez is past fit, I tell you, he'll be the man playing to that position. But because you haven't gone ahead to get any update about the diagnosis from the scans that the physio went ahead obviously conduct, I'm putting that John Evans. But if Lisandro Martinez is past fit, he'll be played into that position. At the center of the 3-man central defense, it's really going to be Matthias De Ligt to obviously combine to make that back 3. Now, that's what I think United is really going to be looking like. Right wing back, I think it's going to be Diego Dallo. No one comes close to him because he's really good, and this is the system that he's really going to make him a very good player and explode, in the final third, because he'll be having a lot of space and allowance to operate, as you know that all the 2 players that would have gone to play as wingers are really placed centrally into the team. Left wing back, I think it's going to be Tyrell Malacia. Tyrell Malacia is one of those that has going to obviously put in a very big shift since his return, and he played 45 minutes I think last weekend, and people ask me, Rokani, why not Luke Shaw? Because I think Luke Shaw hasn't gone ahead obviously getting the required effort to start this game. Unless otherwise, the manager has really found it right, but Luke Shaw hasn't played football for a very long period of time. From the finals of the Euros, I think they played 14th July. You add or you count August, September, October, November. Almost 5 months he's not playing football. You understand? The same applies to Lenny Yoro. That's why I also have reservations in Lenny Yoro, that I see no reason of obviously rushing him, but I know it will depend onto the manager. But those are the players that I believe are really going to show up, and that's the reason as to why I believe Tyrell Malacia will get into this team ahead of Luke Shaw. Then in the double pivot, I think it's going to be Manuel Ugarte, a player that really knows the style very well and knows what it takes to play in a system of Ruben Amorim alongside Casemiro, right? Casemiro is really undroppable this time round, and Kobe Mainoo returning from injury, with us having a game in the midweek, I think you better reserve him and get him on to play like some 30 minutes, like you rest Ugarte a little bit. So that is the midfield four for Manchester United in the system of Ruben Amorim. Now, this is where it really gets tricky. And I'm like, who is really going to be playing what? And where is that person going to be playing? Because if you're talking about how tricky it's really going to get, this is how it gets. Now, we are talking of two central attacking midfielders because he doesn't use wide attacking midfielders. He really respects and really trusts his fullbacks or wing backs that will obviously make the system look better and better. So, we are looking at, for me, I'm going in for this player because he always has a left-footed player, and the most informed left-footed player is Amadi Diallo. You understand? So, I'll go with Amadi Diallo onto the right central attacking side of the midfield. Then, this guy is undroppable. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes onto the left central attacking side of the midfield, meaning that who is really going to be playing into the left half space? It's going to be Bruno, and Amadi Diallo will be playing into the right half space of the attacking phase. Now, leading the line, I think it's really going to be Rasmus Højlund, though we might see Marcus Rashford being played into that position. So that is my probable starting 11 for the club of Manchester United as far as this encounter is really concerned. And I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but that's what my thoughts, or that's what my brain really tells me. It's really tricky because we don't know who has proven what, and the system is really changing. For Ruud van Nistelrooy, it was very easy for us to come up with a proper starting 11 because we felt like, all right, it's really going to be looking like that. But it's really going to be looking like that of Erik ten Hag because the system was the same, 4-2-3-1, but this system is really changing. So, I believe that's how that team is really going to be looking, and we are waiting to see how things are really going to be panning out under Ruben Amorim. Now, when you look at the possible starting 11 for the side of Ipswich, Murik in goal, Tuanzebe right back, then Davis left back, O'Shea and Burgess into the midfield or in the central defense, then Davis, Mosi and Kajusti plus Johnson, midfield 3, then Hutchinson, Zomodix and Delap, obviously doing the needful. So that's how everything is really going to be panning out for the club of Manchester United. And let's go to the head-to-head stats as provided to us by Google. 1. Ipswich have lost 4 of their last 5 Premier League games against Manchester United. They've drawn 1, failing to score in each defeat. This is their first such meeting since a 1-0 home loss in April 2002. Secondly, Manchester United won their last away league match or league game against Ipswich 1-0. Only once in their league history have they won consecutive visits to Portman Road, doing so in 1962 and 1963. So it shows you that it's not going to be an easy pass. If people believe that's going to be an easy goal, check these stats and you obviously put respect to the name of Ipswich. Thirdly, after their first Premier League win of the season last time out away to Tottenham Hotspur, Ipswich are looking to earn back-to-back wins in competition for the first time since February 2002. a run of 4 that started with a 2-1 win against Tottenham Hotspur. So I told you about that, and you're well conversant about it. Man United, fourthly, have won 17 of their last 19 Premier League games against newly promoted opponents. 2 draws since a 4-1 loss at Watford in November 2021, a game that saw Ole Gunnar Solskjaer get sacked. Away from home, they've won their last 9 league games at promoted sides. In English top flight history, only Chelsea have won 10 plus away matches in succession against such opponents. 21 in a row from October 2002 to November 2008. Lastly, Ipswich are the only side without a home win in the Premier League this season. Have you heard? So they haven't gone ahead, obviously, get a home win. They've played 5 games, drawn 3 and lost 2. That is it. Only 5 newly promoted sides have failed to win their opening 6 home matches of the Premier League campaign, all of which went on to be relegated. Swindon Town in 1993-1994, Crystal Palace 1997-1998, Norwich City 2004-2005, Sunderland 2005-2006, and Burnley 2023-2024. That is it. And you've gone ahead, obviously, get it very well. So that is what you're really getting in through from this side. And what's my prediction then? Because that's what most of you are really waiting to hear. My prediction is 2-1 win for the club of Manchester United. You understand? It's a 2-1 win for the club of Manchester United. And hope you guys are really going to be telling me your predictions. But there are things that we have to obviously pay a lot of attention to detail to into this fixture. 1, whether you like Ruben Amorim or not, let's give him a chance. You got? Let's give him a chance. And I think he has all what it takes to implement what he wants to implement at the club of Manchester United. You know, we might see changes from this probable starting 11. We might be shocked by Rashford starting leading the line, because Rashford and Garnacho to be on the bench, you know, is really something hard. And how do you obviously get them into this team? With this system, a lot of players in the attacking mode are really going to find themselves dropped hugely most of the times. And one of the questions is, will sometimes Bruno Fernandes be sacrificed? That is the huge question, because if you are to use Bruno Fernandes all the time, then you have to obviously drop Rashford or Garnacho and Amadi Diallo. Only one of those should be onto the pitch. So I don't know how this is really going to be orchestrated, but all I want to let you know is simple. The side of Manchester United is really going to be having a very hard task at that stadium of Ipswich, because they're really going to be high up, and Kieran McKenna will obviously want to show his former bosses that I can show you what I'm good at. He's one of those upcoming managers that the world has gone ahead obviously look at, but it's not going to be an easy game. You get? So I know the way we are going to be playing against Ipswich, the way we are going to be playing, the results, the substitutions, who starts and who doesn't start, is really going to raise dust. Even if we win, obviously people will be like, there are some nitty-gritties, but I really don't get surprised when such is being thrown to our faces. Do you know why? I believe that you can't be getting superlatives all the time. You know, you will always have haters, and you always have those people that really die for you and put their bodies on the line. So there are people there who have already gone ahead to doctor their tweets about Amorim's first loss, as he's not the right guy for the job. You understand? But please, let's give this manager full support. Let's support him. He's here. I'm one of those people that has occasionally said, I'm fed up of United sacking managers. I'm really fed up. I tell you this. I'm 100% fed up. I want this manager to be here for the next 6 years, whether 10 years. You know, that's what we want. We want that continuity to be here. He's young, 39 years of age. Can we keep him for the next 20 years? Because it's possible. You know, if he really initiates his system in here very well, it sinks into the players, it gives us results. Let's keep this guy here, and let's give him what he really deserves as a player. Sorry, as a manager. So I sign out for now. See you later, and I'm calling in for your predictions into the comment section below. My prediction is 2-1 in favor of the club of Manchester United. Remember, we are having a goalkeeper who was going to keep most clean sheets in the Premier League. He's having 5. Is he really going to be adding one more on Sunday at the Portman Road Stadium? I'm waiting for your reactions into the comment section below. Bye bye for now.